Okay, I'm recording. Here we go. These numbers, Donnie Darko's arm. God, you've seen this film surely by now. Donnie Darko, this film. Okay, they got some interesting stuff in Gematrinator blog about this. I'm not going to go through, um, all of this stuff. You can look it up for yourself. And these numbers will reference back to what I'm going to talk about here in a minute. But I don't really want to go. I don't really want to home in on stuff that's already there. Okay, what I want to home in on is, again, the significance. Before I even get started, the significance of this film, just with the rabbit. Again, follow the white rabbit. You know, this rabbit head here. We got the V for the dam, for the womb. We've got the skull and crossbones worked into this. We've got what else? We've even got kind of a reference to antlers here. And so we're back to that idea of the buck. And well, let's go to the picture of the dollar bill. We've got the white rabbit, the bunny ears right here. Okay, and right here, follow the white rabbit, because when those two pieces come together, as we've done in previous videos, we've got the Clint Eastwood breastplate coming over and joining up here with this O, which is actually a P and forms the PI of pi. This is all encoded in the dollar bill, and that pi, again, we can take the numbers from Greek and we get a 187 out of that. We can decode that back to a 187. The same as we can gematrinize Washington's name and we get a 187. Okay, this is the alpha and omega right here, the first and the last. Okay, so this is, I don't know, it kind of is slightly ominous with the with some of the ideas here. But needless to say, okay, we've done all those decodes, okay, and of course Donnie Darko, there's several nice little references in his bedroom and in other places to the dollar bill, okay, in Donnie Darko, okay. I will leave it at that, because what I want to get onto is I want to get onto this. I want to get onto these numbers, okay. Now I think I've seen somebody else add these numbers up, okay, and these numbers sum to 88, okay. Again, the time travel thing going on with Donnie Darko, and these numbers being the end of the world, and he kind of gets this premonition with these numbers before the end of the world, okay. So where do I want to go from here? This 88 that's on here. So we've got the time travel. We're Back to the Future. We're back to this chart with the time travel, with the 88 and the 55. The column of the physical here and the column of the metaphysical. This is for people that are just stumbling on this now, and I sound like a completely crazy man. This is a chart that is constructed from Fibonacci type numbers. Okay, all these numbers are to do with balance. Basically, that's the long and short of it right there. This is all to do with balance. This whole table. Okay, I have to go back and dig through old videos to get a better explanation of it. But needless to say, 88 and 55 appear in this table, and of course the 88 with the sun and the moon, the analemma, or is that how you say that? Analemma. The 88, the eight pattern that the sun makes in the sky, and the same with the moon. Okay, so the twins, yeah, and of course the 8 pattern, the 88 again with the actual mechanics of the universe and the toroidal field. There is a lot of significance with this shape. Okay, let's leave it at that for just for 2 seconds, because I don't really want to make this video too long. I want to go back to this, and let's transfer these numbers into Paint now, and we'll have a look, because we want to note two things here. We want to note that this is an 06 that's in here. Now I know they're writing down days, hours, minutes, and seconds here, and this is why we've got the double dots as well. And this is why we've probably got an 06. But it's interesting that we have an 06 in here, okay? Because, and it's also interesting it's on the left arm, or appears to be on the left arm anyway. So let's go to this. I got this written down a bit clearer here, and we've added them up this way, and this is what this comes to, 88. Okay, now let's go in the reverse. Why do we want to go in the reverse? Okay, well, if you look at my cursor, actually, let's just do a picture of it now. If the heart was here, okay, and this would be the, oh my gosh, Dan, what is this you're drawing? It looks like a hand. Okay, so this is this is the arm, the left arm coming out from the heart. Okay, so we're going out, and if we run this way, we've got 88, yeah, and we've got all this to do with time. And I'm telling you right now, I'd like to explain this in a later video, but time is literally the control mechanism of everything. Okay, when I say control mechanism, I'm also talking about the constructed man-made control system is also to do heavily with time, and the creation of time. Let's leave it at the creation of time, okay? Because that has to be a video for another day. But we're running this way. We're running away from the heart here, yeah, away from balance, okay, here, okay. In order to return back to home, back to the heart, where Jesus is at, we've got to run back this way, okay. Oh, come on, Dan. Okay, we've got to shoot the arrow back through the heart here. We've got to run back this way. So we need to run these numbers in reverse. So we need to do 21, 24, 60, and 82. And I've just written them down here. And if we sum these together now, we're back to the good old 187. Yeah, we're back to that. What I'm thinking is there's a couple of dates that it could be. But one of those dates, we've covered all three of those dates, I think. Actually, bar one other date. But we've covered most of these dates, three of the main ones, and I'm thinking the 18th of July, just because of the way it fits into the dollar bill. Now, it could be one of a handful of other dates when something significant happens. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that it's going to be like global annihilation, but what I'm saying is there will be an event around that date. I'm thinking around that date there will be an event. I think it will be to do with the Hoover Dam and maybe the Golden Gate Bridge, but who knows. And we're talking about an event that will signify coming out of the Matrix, yeah, or returning home, or something like that. Okay, so of course I've been waffling on about the destruction of the Hoover Dam for nigh on I don't know how long now. Actually, I've completely lost track of how long I've been waffling on about it, but anyway, needless to say, if we go back, if we read back towards the heart, 187, something has to die, okay? And to get back to the heart, right, to the center, right, you've got to peel away. Look, what you got to do is you got to peel away. Oh dear, what is this, Dan? Oh, bullet in hell. This is supposed to be an onion. Okay, you've got to peel away all these layers of the onion. Okay, the onion is a metaphor. Look at this. This is just terrible. Oh my gosh. Okay, the onion is a metaphor for the ego, for all the layers of the ego that are built around the Holy Spirit right here in the center, right? Okay, in the center of the eight, and those are the things that we've got to peel away. Yeah, the longer we're in this existence, the more layers of onion the bigger the onion gets, the more layers we get to the ego, the thicker the layers get. You know, the thicker the shells of the ego gets, and the tougher the outside gets. Yeah, and it's difficult to penetrate back into the center there to find who we truly are, right at the center, right? You've got to peel back all these layers of the ego, of the onion. And like an onion, it probably might make you cry a little bit. I don't know. you might, it might be a little bit of a, and there might be tears of joy or there might be tears of sadness. It just depends on what layer you're peeling when. You know what I mean? But that whole idea of being kind of right there at the center. I mean, if you cut an onion in half, you will see the bullseye at the center, the place we have to aim for. That's a place. It's funny because you've got to peel away those layers, right, to get back to the center point, to get back to the Holy Spirit. But at the same time, you've got to come out of that center point of the matrix that you're stuck in and bust away the layers that are keeping you trapped. It's kind of like an inverse thing. You've kind of got to go in to go out, or out to go in. Just weird. Just like the hourglass here. You've got to go one way. When you go to one side, you've got to do the counter opposite on the other side, if you like. I don't know. So anyway, anything else significant about this? No, I just thought it was interesting because all this Donnie Darko stuff, the dollar bill. The Donnie Darko stuff links back to the dollar. There's some stuff in his bedroom that I think, really links back to the dollar bill. The way his bedroom's set up and the little owl lamp. Of course, the lamp itself is a reference to the dollar bill. I haven't done that video yet, but there's an earlier version of the dollar bill with what appears to be two lamps on each side of Washington. I don't have the pictures up now. What else do I want to say? And the gematria, if we look at Donnie Darko in here, we got George Washington on the dollar bill with the 187. We've got Donnie Darko in reverse with the 187. Okay, and then you can put Jake Gyllenhaal in, and you can put you can go back to this Gematrinator blog, and they've got some interesting stuff here on it. The rabbit 2547. The rabbit numbers to do with, and again, depends on the way you want to look at it. 47 is the number that surrounds. Let's go to this chart here, the chart of Lorraine. Okay, and 47 is the number that surrounds the balanced man, and that's independence. Yeah, again, that's if you looked at it in atomic numbers, that would be the number of silver. That's surrounding the balanced man. Yeah, it's not at the center of the balanced man. Okay. What else do I want to say? The 97 shows up a lot, which of course is the if you reverse that, that's 79. That's the atomic number of gold. And that shows up in this. Where are we at? That shows up, in all this gear they've got going on here, and they've got several other interesting bits and bobs down in here. I don't want to go through all of this right now. I really wanted to go through that idea of the 187 popping up, and the fact that Donnie Darko has the 187 in it, George Washington has the 187 in it, And the 187, the murder, death, kill that has to happen is that ego, is the false ego, yeah? That false ego is trapped by, is essentially trapped by time. But that is something that take a little bit more explanation. And I'm going to save that for the next video. But if you think about, let me just leave you with this. If you think about the way the legal system works, okay, and the idea of contract law, okay, when you, the point of a contract is to bind somebody to do something over a time period, yeah, to bind somebody into time, okay, to doing something. And it could be in the future or in the past, but that is what contracts are all about, okay? And that's the thing that ends up, unfortunately, if you know your natural law, you'll understand that a natural man cannot be bound by those things, okay? It can't. The natural man can't be bound by a contract. That's why we have a counterpart, a twin that is within that trading system. That's why we have that birth certificate counterpart. That's the thing that is bound. Whether you as a man want to play along with that idea and be bound as well, that's up to you. That's your decision. And that's what traps most of us, because we play along with that idea. But I'm getting way too waffly now. I'm just going off on one. But anyway, there we go, the 187. Okay, that is the thing, you know, the one with the 007. That's the thing that has to be reborn. The man has to come out of the matrix for the 50 millionth time. Gotta let go of that fiction. That's what coming out of the matrix is all about, is letting go of fictional ideas. Because that's what's controlling people. And the past and the future, however much people want to argue over what happened in the past and what's going to happen in the future, or have, you know, ideas, fictional ideas, science fiction about what's going to happen in the future, it's all ideas, it's all fiction. And people get wrapped up in that, and it ends up basically controlling your life, one way or the other. Time creation. This is the next video, I guess. Time creation will be the next video, and that really is a time. That really is a controller of people. I'm going to explain what I mean by time creation in the next video. It's not as science fiction as you would think. Yeah, as Marty said, I got all the time in the world. I got a time machine. That's what man has. Man has a time machine, and he uses it on other men to control them. And again, I'll do that in the next video. But I think that's where I want to leave it for today. Just a little quickie on the 187 again popping up. So that date we've covered, the 18th of July, or maybe there's some other counterparts to that date, but the $1 bill at the minute for me is pointing towards that date. So we'll see if it's that date or not, whether something happens at the Hoover Dam or the Golden Gate Bridge or some other relevant landmark. End of the world. Definition of end of the world needs to be thought about before we say end of the world. When you say end of the world, most people think, they're thinking Armageddon, you know, a big bloody comet coming down and destroying the world, you know, destroying the actual physical world. Well, that's not really what the end of the world means. End of the world, we're talking about coming out of the matrix again. We're talking about putting an end to the matrix. And the only way you can put an end to the matrix is you have to, or I have to, or we have to come out of that thing. Okay? You literally cannot destroy a fictional idea. I mean, you can destroy bits of paper that the thing's written down on. Okay, that brings me back to a film that Enter the Stars was looking at, Omega Man. Okay, Omega Man and Charlton Heston, and he was covering that the other day. I thought, oh, just after I've just done the Alpha and Omega in the dollar bill, he does that video, and I'm thinking, well, I'll go watch the film. And there is some stuff in that film. Maybe I will. I've got a couple of tabs up here. Maybe if I've got time to do another video, maybe I'll do one on that. But again, the last man, okay, last man standing. You got to let go. The only person that can destroy the world is yourself. Yeah, and that's when you decide you're going to come out of the matrix. It's that simple. When you decide you've had enough of it, you just have to leave it. Done. That's the end of the world as we know it. Okay. Now, I think that's a good place to leave it, right? I don't think there's anything else I can really add to that. But we're not talking about, an asteroid destroying the world. That's metaphorically speaking. Again, there will be some kind of metaphor similar to what happened in 2001. I believe there will be a similar metaphor happen for exiting the matrix. Okay, unless 2001 was the exiting. I don't know. It might have been, because it was a tipping point for a lot of people. Gradually over the next several years, a lot of people are at least attempting to exit the matrix now. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, and the next video I'm going to explain basically about time creation and why we're all in sin and all that good stuff. So anyway, that's it. All right, I hope you enjoyed. God bless. I'll catch you on the next one. All right, cheers, bye.